So, in this video, we are going to look at some basic forex terms that you need to know. Like I said earlier, there are so many of them, but then you don't need to know all at this point. It might not even be necessary actually. But then we're going to look at those basic ones you need to know so that by the time you go into the trading platform, you'll be able to see how things work and how those things are being used so that you will fall into a mess. So first of all, you need to know is what we call the currency pairs. Now, when you enter the trading platform, you're going to notice that those currencies are usually paired. You won't see just one currency, for example, US dollars or euro as a single currency you are going to trade on, but you are going to see them in pairs as one item. For example, you are going to see euro USD as a pair, or you're going to see something like USD Canadian dollar as a pair, or you're going to see something like British pounds and Japanese yen. So usually you see them as pairs. So now in that pair, we now have what you call the base currency and also what you call the quote currency. Now the base currency usually is the first one, whereas the quote is the second one. So that means that in that pair of, for example, euro USD, if you decide to buy that pair, it means you are actually buying the first one, euro. If you decide to sell, it means that is the one you are selling. So now, this is how it works. If the base, you feel the base will be stronger than the quote currency, that's the first one, euro will be stronger than the USD, then you buy to make a profit. So at that point, it means you are buying the euro and you are selling your USD. But then, if on the other hand, you feel that the quote currency is going to do better than the base, so you can decide to sell. Now, if you are selling, it means you are selling your euro and you are buying your USD. So basically, what it means is the currency that is doing well or you anticipate to do well is the one you should go for. That is the one you should buy. You understand? But then in that pair, remember that if you place buy, you are buying this. If you place sell, it means you are going for this. So these are what you need to know. So in every currency pairs, we have the quotes, we have the base. So the next we want to talk about is the bid and the ask price. Now, this is what it means. In a currency pair, for example, you are going to have two prices depending on what you want to do. So if you want to buy, the price of that currency might be $5. But if you want to sell that same pair, the price might be $4. So usually there is a difference between the buying price and the selling price. That's what we call the bid and the ask price. So there is usually that difference. So the difference between the bid price and the ask price is what we call the spread. So that spread, which is $1, for example, if the price is 5 here, this one is 4, it means the difference is just $1. So that $1 is like what we say is a transaction fee. So that is what you pay to be able to get into that trade. Now, there are several things that determines how much the spread will be. One of the basic things that determines it is the currency pairs that you are trading. Some currency pair has a very large spread, whereas others have a little one. Then another thing too is the time of the trade. Sometimes during peak hours, during high volatility period, the spread usually is also very high. So when you go into the trading platform, you are going to also see that first, you have to choose currency pairs that have low spread, because usually a spread gives you negative or minus when you place a trade. So you wouldn't want to, place a trade that will give you so big negative. So it makes, before you can be able to begin to make a gain, the market will have to move your direction for, such a longer time. So you basically will be guided through on how to choose currencies or, currency pairs that has a low spread. Then another thing we want to talk about now is the pips. Now, like I said, I will use terms that will be easier for everyone to understand, even if this is your first time. Now, the pips can be referred to as steps. It's just like, for example, when you are climbing a staircase. Let's say you are on the first floor. Now, to get on the second floor, maybe you have to take, let's say, 20 steps to be able to get to the second floor. So if it was in forex, each step you take or you took is referred to as a pip. So if you take 20 steps, it means 20 pips. Now this is how it works. If this is a currency pair, and at the point where you enter your buy, the price is at, let's say, $10, for example. And later on, you notice that the price has moved from $10 to $15. So it means that the price, have taken up to 5 pips to be able to get to where it is. So if the price changes from $10 to 20 to 30, it means that is 10 pips or 20 pips. So just understand that those pips are the smallest, each step, that the price takes, they change actually between the price from where you buy it or where you sell it, basically from where you place your trade to where it is at a particular point in time. Then we want to talk about the lot size. Now, the lot size is, I would say, is the measurement, a unit of measurement of that particular trade that's entered. Now, let me give another example. Let's assume that you have £100, sorry, $100 in your account. Now, you want to enter a trade. You enter a trade with lot size of $1. So that means if the price goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pips in your direction, it means you are going to make gain of 1 lot size times 5, which is $5. If the price goes up to 20 pips, 20 steps, how your gain is calculated or your profit is calculated is the lot size multiplied by the pips. Now take note that it is a two-way thing. If the price is going on the negative direction, that's on the opposite direction, it's also going to be the same thing too. So if it goes 5 pips on the other direction, so it means it's going to be -1. That is -1 up to 5 places, which is -5. So just take note of this. So that is how pips, profit or loss are calculated. So usually the pips multiply it by the lot size. That gives you your profit or a loss. The next one I want to talk about is volatility. Basically, volatility is the movement of those prices, from one point to another point. And sometimes there could be very high volatility, then sometimes there could also be low volatility. Now let's give an example. If the pen, for example, you placed your buy or your sell, let's say the price then was $10, But then within just 2 minutes, 3 minutes, or 4 minutes, the price shoot up and becomes 100. Or the price crashes down and becomes, minus 100 p's down. So that's a rapid, movement. That is what we call volatility. So at that point, it's a high volatility movement. But then you can also place the trade is at, let's say, $10, and maybe after 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, it has moved up a bit, maybe just up to 12. So it's a low volatility. So this we need to keep in mind. There are several things that could cause those high volatility. And take note, those periods are very, very risky periods. Yes, if the market goes your direction, you make a lot of money. But then if it goes the other side, you're also going to lose a lot of money. So during your training, you are going to see what should be done whenever we anticipate there's going to be that high volatility, how to trade in those periods. Now, the next one to talk about is the bear and the bull market. Well, that's pretty simple. When we talk about the bear market, it means the market is really going down, it's crashing, it's falling. But if it's bullish, it means it's going up. So bull, price going up, whereas bear, the price comes down. So if a particular pair is said to be bullish, for example, it means it's really going up, the price is moving up. And if you say that it's bearish, it means it's going down. Then the next thing I want to talk about now is your account balance. Basically, in your account balance, when you enter your platform, you are going to see your account balance. You also see equity. Usually, they will be the same thing. If your account balance is $100, for example, your equity will also be $100. But then, once you place a trade, there is a trade going on in your account. Usually, the equity will change from the account balance. So now, if the trade is already giving you $5 gain, it's not yet closed, it's still an ongoing trade. It means that your balance will be showing $100, but your equity will show $105, because the equity calculates or adds the balance plus the profit, so which could either be profit or loss. So if it is a loss of $5, your equity will be showing 95. So the equity actually tells you, if that trade closes now, this is what is going to be your account balance. So usually, as long as the trade is still on, whatever you see in the equity is floating. You understand? It's going to be like a floating gain or a floating loss. It could go up to $20 gain, it could go up to 30, it could come down to 5, it could come down to 1, it go to, so it's floating until that particular trade is closed. That is where either the profit or the loss is now locked in. So your account balance and the equity remains the same. So these are basic terms that at least you need to know, so that by the time we go into the trading platform, you see how those things works, and you see how you can make use of them. So thank you for watching this video. So in the next video, we are going straight into the trading platform. So see you all in my next video. Cheers.